Is the ATS-V, Cadillac's attempt at dethroning the king of four-door sports cars, the BMW M3. Now, during this beast's development, General Motors engineers directly benchmarked one car. You guessed it, the M3. Now, at the time, that was the E90 chassis of the M3, but as the F80 was released, little tweaks were made to make sure that this car can keep up with modern-day twin-turbo saloons. This beast looks just as aggressive as the M3 and C63, so let's see what it's all about. Tony Roma, Cadillac's chief engineer, actually admits that the LT4 V8 would have fit under the hood of the ATS-V. Now that makes me a little sad because a 640 horsepower M3 competitor would have been fantastically interesting. Unfortunately, a little thing called the laws of physics and weight distribution as well as fuel economy means that's not the case. Instead, we've got a reworked version of the twin-turbo V6 found in the cts-v Sport. Boost is upped from 12 to 18 psi thanks to new turbos, and a few more bits in the internals bump the power up a bit as well. 464 horsepower and 444 pound-feet of torque means this has more power than an M3. However, the car also weighs a good 200 pounds more than the M3 and does not offer a fancy dual-clutch automated manual transmission. Your transmission options are either a standard 6-speed manual or GM's 8-speed automatic designed in-house. Now honestly, the manual is the route to go. Reason being, paddle response is too slow on this car. Despite faster shift times when in automatic mode, if you click the paddle, a downshift just takes a little bit too long, and compared to stuff like the DCT in the M3 and something like Porsche's PDK, it just feels like antiquated technology. Opt for the manual, however, and you get some fancy additions, such as active rev matching and no-lift shift. Apparently this no-lift shift technology can allow you to shift 0.4 seconds faster than normal. I imagine that'd take a little bit to get used to without bringing the clutch out every shift, but pretty cool. Have no fear, the ATS-V is fast as hell. 0 to 60 happens in just 3.8 seconds, and the quarter mile, this is impressive, in 12.1. That's actually a tenth of a second quicker than the C63 or the BMW M3. It's got an electronic limited slip differential, magnetic ride, and is equipped with Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires. That means its lateral grip is actually higher than that of its German rivals. So it's got the straight line power, it's got the grip. This is a recipe for success. The crazy part is it's not just numbers. The ATS-V is actually more fun to drive than a BMW M3. That's right, I just said that. This might be the best handling sedan that I have ever driven. The magnetic ride suspension is monitoring the road over 1,000 times per second to give you the most comfortable and highest performing ride at once, and it really does work. The steering is perfectly weighted and provides an excellent amount of feedback. It's wrapped in Alcantara and is just the right diameter to keep you confident on the road and really make turns a hell of a lot of fun. Sound is obviously a large component when buying a sports car. Unfortunately, nowadays with 6 cylinders and turbos, they don't sound all that great. This isn't a bad sounding engine by any means. It's probably about on par with the BMW M3, but it is no match for something like the C63 AMG. The performance data recorder is one of the coolest parts of the ATS-V interior. The frontal camera is recording the world around you, so whether you're on the drag strip, a racetrack, or you put the car in valet mode, you can watch it on the multimedia system. There's a slew of overlays that allow you to see speed, gear, lateral Gs, and more. Really a cool feature. There's a host of other technologies as well. You've got an awesome color heads-up display that shows you your speed, your gear, and even turn-by-turn directions. You've also got wireless charging for your phone. The seats are 16-way adjustable Recaros. They've got excellent lumbar support, can squeeze your sides to keep you in place around turns, and really are comfortable even over long distances. Stylistically, the ATS-V falls short of its competition in the interior. The new C63 is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not really a huge fan of the design language here. A lot of the ergonomics are not very good as well. Everything is touchscreen, and it makes it somewhat difficult to use. The seat controls are also in a terrible location. If you wear a watch, you cannot reach your hand down to the side of the seat and do any sort of adjustment without opening the door. There's also a compartment to the side that perfectly fits an iPhone 6. However, it fits it so well that if it gets pushed down a little bit too tight, you can't get the phone back out without sliding a credit card and popping it back up. Ask me how I know that. The exterior of the ATS-V is undeniably sexy. It's got a perfect balance of functionality and the fact that it's aesthetically pleasing. The carbon fiber hood helps with weight savings, the aggressive front splitter helps with aerodynamics. It comes together in a way that I think is just as good looking, if not better, than the M3 and C63. So would I actually buy this car over its German rivals? The crazy part is that's not out of the realm of possibilities whatsoever. I love the way this car looks. It handles better than either of them. The sound is somewhere in between the M3 and the C63. While the interior isn't quite as good, it feels so good to drive. It's so fun in the turns that this is absolutely a competitor to those cars. As a summary, here are some of the things I love and hate about it. First off, of course, the handling. It is incredible. In a very strange way, it almost feels like a stretched sedan version of a Z28. In a way, it's like a Z28 combined with a Chevy SS. Second up, the exterior appearance. There's no doubting the car is gorgeous. Third is the price point. This car starts at around $60,000, and lease deals are in the 500s per month. That's Scat Pack Charger territory. Compared to its German rivals, that's one heck of a deal. Things I dislike about the car. The ergonomics in the interior are terrible. This touchscreen, not very good. The fact that I can't adjust the seat controls with the watch on is absolutely garbage, and the fact that my phone got stuck in that cup holder area is not good either. Second, from the side, it looks rather boring. Unlike the BMW M3 with that awesome side blade and the cool aggressive features on the C63, it looks basically like a stock ATS. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. It was an absolute blast driving the new ATS-V sedan. It is an absolute competitor to its German rivals, and potentially, I'd actually take one over a BMW M3. And that's about as big of a praise as I could give a car. Special thanks to Jacob Rourke of Les Stanford, Cadillac, and Chevy for hooking us up with this car. Make sure to check them out. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next video.